How are the musical notes related? What's a whole step and what's a half step? Let's check it out. Hey guys, I'm Marino Scheid, and this is my first video about music theory. So in this video, I'll explain what's a whole step and what's a half step. And it's the beginning of our journey in the music theory. I will show you guys in the acoustic guitar, but you can do it in any instrument. We are used to believe there are only 7 musical notes, right? Which are C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, right? A to D, 7 notes. But in the majority of songs, there are 12 notes. There are little notes in between the 7 original notes. But how's that? There is this thing called an octave, which is the interval between a note and the next note that is the same as the first. Let me show you in the C major scale. We'll start at a C and we will go on until the next C, which is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and another C. So this is a C, and this is also a C note. And so I played 7 notes before hitting a C again, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the 8th note is a C again. This is an octave interval. And this interval is composed by 12 half steps, which means there are literally 12 notes instead of 7. On the fretboard of a guitar or an acoustic guitar, you can see that there are 12 frets until you hit the next same note, until you hit the octave. You can see on the piano too. But how do that work? We convention that each fret on the guitar is a half step, but that do not equals to a new note, which would mean this fret would be C and the next one would be D. But that's not the case. The C is right here and the D is right here. So you can see I jumped 1 fret. Why is that? Because in the major scale, we convention that from C to D, there is a whole step interval, which equals to 2 half steps. And so if here is D is C, and then from C to D is 2 half steps, I'll have to move 2 frets, right? So 1, 2, D. And so as this is a convention, I will tell you what the convention is for the major scale, right? So we will have all the 7 music original notes, right? So C, D, E, F, G, A, and B until the next C, which is the octave. And we will have a whole step between C and D, another whole step between D and E, and then we will have only a half step between E and F. Then again a whole step between F and G, a whole step between G and A whole step between A and B, and another half step between B and C, which is our octave. So you notice that the half steps are only between E and F and between B and C. So you can ask me, but Marino, why is this way? And I'll tell you, because we convention it to be. This is the C major scale, and this is the way it is. We have 2 conventions, half steps between notes, and the other are all whole steps. Each whole step is 2 half steps, and if you sum them up until the next octave, you see there are 12 half steps. Alright, but how do we call these other notes, these in-between notes, right? So we have C and we have D, and there's a note in between. How do we call that? This is where the sharp and flat symbols come in. They are like this. And as we are moving forward, it's common to call this next note C sharp. Here we have C, and then a C sharp, and then D, and then a D sharp, and then E. And then from E to F, as we have only a half step, there is no E sharp, as there is no F flat. If we are moving backwards, here we are on the E note, and we have E flat, and we have D, and then D flat, and then C. But as we have from B to C only a half step, there is no C flat, and there's no B sharp for now. So if I would write from C to the next C as an octave, all the 12 notes in between the 7 original notes as sharp, I will write it this way: C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, and the next C. If I will write from the C, which is an octave, to the lowest C, which means going backwards. It will be this way: C, B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, E, E flat, D, D flat, and C again. So this is what we call a half step and a whole step. It's merely a convention, and it's used in all scales we will come across in the future. In the next videos, I will show you how to build a major scale, and then we will move forward from that. I hope you liked this one. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out any news. And I'll see you in the next one.